to Breakfast Central. Now, we're talking about something that really interests me, conversations about women and empowering women. Now, reports have it that women are underrepresented in various sectors, such as in the workplace, in the environment, education, and in leadership positions across the continent. And, it is said that this is usually due to lack of gender equality or equity and poor structures of discrimination hinged on organizational blocks. In the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, women are lacking in support and breakthroughs. Now, in a bid to reach at least 1 million women by 2025, using avenues such as workshops, community hangouts, memberships, and celebratory events, Herconomy is a fintech brand that empowers women. Today, to speak on this product is the manager of Herconomy, Oyeleye. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I think it's very important that we have conversations about empowering women. When we look at the role that women play, not just in the economy, in politics, in every area, we cannot downplay it. And it's why we to have conversations about the Sustainable Development Goals and gender equality being goal 5. But I know that Herconomy is doing a lot in terms of women empowerment. So can you please share with us some of the ways in which you have been empowering women and continue to empower women? Okay.
Again, thank you for having me. At Herconomy, what we essentially do, like you said, is we empower women. We are blessed with a community of women that actually allows us to do so much in terms of user research, market surveys, and all of that. So in doing all of that, we're able to understand what women need. Like I said, it's a community, diverse women. And then we just know that these things that they need would actually help us to develop products. So as a product manager, it's just more or less like doing all of the surveys, user research, understanding what they need, giving them products that will allow them to be more financially independent, more increase their financial capacity, right? And some of the product offerings that we have, let me start with plans, right? Plans, women like this collectiveness, right? It allows them to save together collectively towards a goal. And then another one that is vault. Now, the vault, like the name implies, you're able to lock money away. I mean, not away like that, but you lock money in your account, right? And you go to sleep. Now, my personal favorite, right, is the Easy Save feature under the vault product offering, which is allowing you to automatically, or let me say, automate your savings, however which way you want. Daily, monthly, weekly, whatever amount you so please, and also set the time. All of these things are things that would actually allow women to somewhat feel more, I use the word entitled to their finances, and then through the user research that we do, we use sex disaggregated data that allows us to know that women have the habit of spending before they save. It's a very, very bad habit, and that's why we were able to churn out products like that to help curb or to help, reduce how much spending women make, and just ultimately allow them to save more than they spend.
I think that what you have just highlighted is very important. Saving is a very important part for women because when you talk about financial empowerment, there's so many layers to it. Not just with it helping the woman to be independent, to be able to pursue her dreams, but if you look at cases of domestic abuse, for example, a number of women who still stay there, some of the reasons they will cite would be 1, the children, 2 would be money, because they're thinking, where do I start from? So it's a very important and I would say a laudable feat that Herconomy has embarked on in terms of helping women to be financially independent. Now let's talk about, you've mentioned spending much more than saving as one of the challenges that women have. Let's talk about some of the other challenges you've seen over the course of your research that women experience in terms of business. What are some of the challenges women face and how are they able to overcome these challenges?
Okay, before I answer the question properly, now let me just take us through some statistics, right? We have about 20% of African women that are, they're just financially literate. That means 80% of them are financially illiterate, right? We also have like 55% of women that do not have access to financial products. And finally, we have 36% of women that it's quite interesting to note that they are financially excluded. That means globally we have women, or we have seen that women are underserved, right? Financial service providers churn out products day in, day out with data that are used for men, that have gotten. But how about having all of that, or using sex disaggregated data that I mentioned earlier to be able to know what women need, what women, or how can we empower women more financially? How can we make women more financially independent and increase their capacity? So at Herconomy, what we do is within the community, we are able to understand that aside from just helping women save better, we also need to empower women, right? So we have what's it called now? Communities, events, physical events. We have virtual events that actually capacity building, that actually allows women to come together, learn better, to make their lives a lot easier, so that at least in the long run, they are able to beat their chest and say, you know what, I think I'm better off financially than I was before.
All right, let's talk about gender equality. Okay. The green or the pink elephant in the room. And it's an important conversation to have, because when we look at, for example, Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 5 is gender equality. Yeah. Sometimes some people have alluded to the fact that it might be an overflogged conversation, but it's a conversation that is building momentum and gaining steam with every passing day. How important is it for organizations and businesses to promote gender equality, and how can they do that in the day-to-day running of their businesses?
To be honest, we have seen time and time again that gender equality is in the organization has been badly downplayed. And honestly speaking, women need to take more roles in organizations. We need to take up more roles, and not just any kind of roles, preferably top roles. At Herconomy, now I can speak specifically for us. Our C-suite is predominantly women. I mean, from the CEO to the CFO to the COO, women. But then we try to balance it, of course. So our tech team and our graphics team, comms team are men. But the rest of the population in the organization are women. Now, in other organizations, it would be nice if they can balance things, look for a way to increase gender diversity. Women these days want to take up more roles. Women these days want to do better for themselves. Women it's just quite interesting, because it's not like before. It's not status quo anymore. Women want to do better. They want to feel more in tune with their lives and their careers. So gender diversity in the organizations right now should be promoted.
I totally agree with you. When we have conversations about inclusivity, whenever we talk about this, I remember going to a certain organization once, and on getting there, I saw different rooms that were named after, it's in Nigeria, and different rooms were named after different female leaders. So Queen Amina and, all these other leaders and warriors. And I asked, what are these rooms for? And they said to me that these rooms are like rooms where women who are nursing their children can bring their children to work. And we know that, so just basically being able to have your children there, someone is catering to your children, you need to breastfeed, you can come breastfeed and go back to work. And we know that to be, when you look at the skill, or you look at when we talk about gender equity, that's what we mean, just creating a level playing field for men and for women, because a lot of the time women then have to step back because they have to do the maternity leave and they're worried about the children. But when you have organizations that go ahead to think about things like that, so I think it's a very important conversation to have. As we wrap up this conversation this morning, let's talk about the ways in which you plan to continue supporting women and how women can continue to support themselves. And this, of course, is because I see that community. I personally, from my experience, I've always heard the stories about, women not supporting women, but that's not my reality. My reality is that I've had a community of women who have held my hands and walked me through the different stages of my life. So how important is community when it comes to women, and how do you plan to continue supporting women and driving positive change in the business world in Africa?
Okay. For us, right, just like you said, it's important to continue to grow that community. It's important that we have that close-knitted space for women to share their ideas, to more or less like share what they are thinking about, or events or things they want to do, right? So in that regards, right, we are looking to gathering more data that would help us to develop more products, that will help us to improve the way women relate, their financial status, financial well-being, and all of that. We also want to be able to again, develop products that will help, using tools like machine learning tools, using artificial intelligence tools, so that we are able, or we can better serve women in the long run, right? We want to also increase our capacity building workshops. We want to increase partnerships with organizations that will help us to keep that community, keep it the way it is, and also improve or increase the number of women that come in for help. And then in terms of scholarships, in terms of grants, in terms of loans, helping businesses, all of that would actually help us in the long run. So,
collaboration is the way to go. I'm hoping that more people collaborate to help provide opportunities for women and to celebrate women as well. Congratulations on your Herconomy board recently, celebrating women of excellence and women who are standing out. Thank you so much, Oyeleye, for joining us this morning.
Yes.
All right, thank you for joining us this morning. It's conversations about empowering women, and we hope that more and more of these conversations are had and stirred. But beyond conversations, we want to see changes. We want to see these suggestions being implemented. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, there's still more this morning on Breakfast Central.